Morning everyone, my name is Colin Masia. This is Tutor Master. If you are tuning in for the first time, all you need to do is go to YouTube. Our handle is Tutor Master and click subscribe so that you will get everything that we post. Right, so guys, let me start here. In everything that you are doing, you need to practice. If you want to be a perfectionist, please, you need to practice. How are you going to practice? The same applies in mathematics. If you want to master those concepts, there is no other medicine, you need to practice. Then how are you going to do that? Let's say you are given a homework at school. Your teacher has given you a homework. All you need to do is you reach home, then you don't jump to the homework. Take extra questions, do them, let's say maybe 10 questions for instance. Do them under the very same topic that you are given by your teacher. Do them, repeat, do them now and again until you get perfect. Yes, you will commit mistakes here and there, but it's normal. That's how you learn. Keep on doing those questions until you become okay. If you don't get them right, the following day you go back to school, you do them together with your peers. If still don't get them right, then you can ask your teacher. Then you will get them right at the end, I promise. So that's how you do mathematics. The best medicine for mathematics is to practice. You don't read, you practice it until you get perfect. Right, let's get back to the business of the day. Today I'm talking to grade 12. If you are doing grade 11, it's fine. Sit there, it's worth it, right? Okay. We are going to talk about this function, right? It's called a parabola. It's called a parabola. Right, let's dissect it. It has got a standard formula. It says y is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. This is the standard formula of a parabola, right? So now, if your a is greater than 0, then your function should look like this. It should face up, right? But if your function is less than 0, then now your function should face down, the opposite of this, okay? I hope we are all together there. Now, we've got those points here. The graph is facing up, meaning that a is greater than 0. So we've got a Cartesian plane. This is a Cartesian plane. As you can see, it starts from 0 there. Right, your graph starts there and cut the x-axis at A. Goes down, cuts the y-axis at C, and then this one, that's where your graph turns. It goes up. Going up like that also cuts the x-axis at B and goes up and up and up. We don't know where it ends. Okay? And then after that, we are given a straight line graph. It's called G. Cuts the y-axis at C and the x-axis at B. So we've got those points. We need to find now the values of those points. We are given there, they say the sketch shows the graphs of f of x, which is equals to x squared minus 4x minus 5. And a linear function, that one represents this parabola. This function represents this parabola. Then, and a linear function, which is a straight line graph, called G. That is our G. Yeah. So now we need to find the length of AB, or OB, or OA, OB, OC, and ED, and so on like that. What is the length of BC and so on. But now we need to start by finding the length of OA. OA is this point. So, as I've explained, that this is a Cartesian plane. It means we need to find the value of x here, which represents OA. For the length of OA, it means we need to do what the x-intercept. Now for x-intercept, we let y to be 0. We let y to be 0 using the given formula. So the given function. The function says y equals to x squared plus, it's x squared minus 4x minus 5. So we're going to put 0 where we come across y. And 0 is equals to x squared minus 4x minus 5. Or x squared minus 4x minus 5 equals to 0. So this is the same as that. Don't get too confused. So now we need to factorize. We need to factorize this function. We need to find the values of, the factors of 5, which when we add them we get -5, but when we multiply them we get, when we add them we get -4, but when we multiply them we get -5. Then we know that the factors of 5 is 5 and 1, right? That's 5 and 1. But now we need to deal with those signs. So, but the factors of x squared is what? Is x and x. Okay, so factors of 5 and 1. Then now the signs. Ne? The bigger number here should have the middle sign. It takes the middle sign, which is negative, and here will be plus. Because if you add this, you're going to get -4, but if you multiply this, you're going to get -5. So now we say x minus 5 equals to 0, or x plus 1 equals to 0. So we take this to the other side. It's going to be x equals to 5, or x equals to -1. Now you come back to your Cartesian plane. You need to choose now which value of x represents OA. So according to the Cartesian plane, we know that this part has got what? Negative x-axis, and that part is the positive x-axis. So this -1 is the value for a here. So, but the question said, we need to understand the question. The question said, find the length of AO. You will never supposed to say that OA is -1. That's not the distance. They want the distance. So it means OA is equals to 1. You can write 1 unit. It's fine. We don't write -1 because the question said the length. We need the length. We don't need the coordinates. Right now, OB is the positive x-axis. Here is, which means x is equals to 5. Then OB equals to 5 units. Then they want, again, they want OC. What is OC? Can you see? OC starts here to here. This is the y-axis. This is the negative y-axis now. It's no longer, I'm sorry, this is, yes, this is the negative y-axis. It's no longer the x-axis. Okay, it's the y-axis. So it means we need to find the value of y here using the very same function. Now, how are we going to do that? How are we going to do that? I need to create a space here for you to. Okay. So how are we going to find the value of y? It means we need to find the y-intercept. Okay. So now we're going to say, okay, for y-intercept, x will be equals to 0. Okay. So using the very same formula, our y equals to, where we come across 0, where we come across x, we have to put 0. So here we go. X squared means we're going to say 0 squared minus 4. Here is our x, we put 0 minus 5. Okay, so our y equals to, this is 0 and that is 0. It means our y is what? -5. Okay, the value of y here is -5, but they want the distance. They want the distance. In fact, you could have also taken it from the function. It's -5 without wasting your time. So it means OC is 5 units. Okay, OC is 5 units. And now they want ED. They want ED. Now, please pay attention here. ED, it's a distance from x-axis to the y-axis. In other words, it's a value of y as well, but it's from here, it's from the x-axis. So we need to find the value from the value of OE in order for us to find the value of ED. So finding the value of ED, but again, I have to explain this. At D, that is where the graph turns. That's where the graph was coming down like that, but when it reaches point D, it turns back up. Then, how are we going to do that? It means this part here is our turning point. It's a turning point of the graph, so we need to use the formula for a turning point in order for us to find the value of x here. And then after finding the value of x, we replace it to our original function to find the value of y. That's how we find our ET. So now, what is the formula for a turning point? So the turning point formula, we need to find the value of x first. It says x is equals to negative b over 2a. Now you need to know the value of b and the value of a from your original function. Remember I said this in a standard form, it says ax squared plus bx plus c. This is from that. So right, let's represent, let's place our values. What is the value of b? You can see ax squared, it means here you've got what? 1. But for b, the coefficient of x, the coefficient of x is b, which means our b is negative 4. Then c is a constant, which is 5. Can you see? So now it means our b is negative 4, okay, all over 2. Then what is our a? Our a is the coefficient of x squared, because you can see it right from there. So it means it's 1, which will be equals to, that one will be 4 over 2. Then dividing this, you get 2, means the value of x is 2. So we are going to take this 2 and substitute it from the original function. So we do like this. Right, the original function is that one. Where we come across x, we are going to put 2. So y equals to 2 squared minus 4, that is x there, 2 minus 5. Then this y equals to 4 minus 8 minus 5. Then now we need to solve this. How are we going to solve this? This will be y equals to 4. This will give us negative 13. Y equals to, and this will give us negative 9. Then it means ED is 9. So ED is 9 units. Okay? ED is 9 units. Okay? Now they want us to find what? What is the length of BC? BC. It's from the linear function. So how are we going to find the length of BC? Right. Let's do it in this way. Can you see this? Is a right angle triangle. Can you see that? This is a right angle triangle. So, in other words, we can use the theorem of Pythagoras here, because we know the value of OB. We also know the value of OC. We calculated it. We get OB. We calculated OB. We got, from when we factorize this, we got that OB is 5. And then we calculated as well OC. OC is, the distance OC is 5. The distance OC is 5. I know the coordinates here, it's 0 and -5, but the distance is 5. Right now we need the hypotenuse here. We use the theorem of Pythagoras, okay? So, the theorem of Pythagoras says the square of the longest side is equals to the sum of the squares of the adjacent, okay? So in other words, we're going to say, okay, r squared is equals to x squared plus y squared, okay? So we need this value here. This is going to be r squared equals to, what is x squared? We said is 5 squared plus this y squared, we said it's 5 squared. Right, r squared equals to, this gives us 25 plus 25. R squared equals to, this gives us 50. But we need r, not r squared, so we're going to put root signs both sides. The square root here is r equals to root 50. But what is root 50? We can't find it from a calculator. We need to simplify this. This is the same as 25 multiplied by 2. Then r equals to, the square root of 25 is 5, then we remain with root 2. We can solve that one. This is the answer. This is the what? The value for this side, okay? I hope we are still on the same pool. Right now, they want us to find the equation for G. This is a straight line graph. They want us to find the equation for that. So let's put the coordinates. The coordinates here, it's the coordinate for C is when x is 0, y is -5. Here, when x is 5, when x is 5, y is 0. That's the coordinates for B, and this one is for the coordinates for C. So we need to find the gradient first. Okay, we need to find the gradient, the slope. At grade 12, I expect everyone to know the formula for the gradient, or grade 11, you know the formula for gradient. Even grade 10, they know the formula for gradient. Even grade 9, also know the formula of the gradient. So it's m is equals to what? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, now we need to replace. Let's say this is let's take it like this. BC is fine. We can also do it like CD. It's fine, but okay, it's fine. CD. This is x1 y1, x2 y2. Okay, now what is our y2? Our y2 is 0. What is our y1? Y1 is negative 5, which will give us positive 5. What is our x2? X2 is 5. X1 is 0. Then 5 over 5, which is 1. So the gradient is 1. Okay, the gradient is 1. Now we need to find the formula. How to find it? We got the gradient, then how to find the formula. We can. So the formula says y is equals to mx plus c. Okay. So we got the gradient. So we can take, for us to find the value of c, we take any points here and replace it. Let's say let's take these points. What is the value of y here is 0 equals to our m is 1. So what is the value of x there? It's 5 plus c. So which means c is equals to negative 5 when you take that 5 to the other side of the equal sign. So you're done. You got your c, which represent what? The constant. So your y, your formula says y equals to this is x minus 5, because we said the coefficient of x, which is the gradient, is 1. That is the formula there. Now the last question. They said write down the domain and the range. Right, guys, the domain are all the values of x which represent that graph there, where your graph will pass. So you can see from A, the graph goes up and up and up, which are the x-axis here. Goes up and up and up and up. So everywhere here is the what? The values of x, which is the domain. Same applies here. It goes up, while when it goes up, the values of x increases. It goes up, the values of x increases. So how are we going to represent it? So we say the domain is what? You can write R. Set of what? All sets of real numbers. But now, what about the range? The range represents the y, values, right? It represents the y values. So now, you can see the graph also found here. The graphs found here until to that side. So we need to represent the value of d. The value of d here, you can say, okay, y is an element of. What's the value of d here? We said this. Remember, we calculated the turning point before. So it's we got -9. Okay. I put these square brackets. It means something. It says something. The square bracket says that this -9 is included because that's why the graph turns. It turns here, it doesn't go down. So that's why I represented it with a square brackets. And what else? What else? After that, the graph goes up. Do we know where it ends? We don't know. Therefore, we will say positive infinity. But that positive infinity is not included because we don't know where the graph ends. It goes until we don't know. So you represent it like that. Thank you very much, guys. Too much food is dangerous, okay? So let's call it a day. We'll meet again next time. Cheers.